Welcome to Web Page Development. This is an 8-week course. Introduces HTML and CSS. I wanted to introduce you to myself. I'm Debbie Collins. I'm teaching the course and the structure of this course within Canvas. So if you would begin with the syllabus, introduces how to contact me. We have something called Tech Time, so if you're having some problems with the course, we have tutor available from 12 to 1 in Building 2, room 111W, or contact me and I'll be glad to help. Your textbook is Basics of Web Design, HTML5 and CSS3, second edition. In addition, you will need a text editor, and I give you some information in chapters 1 and 2 of the learning module under the Software for Web Development page. So I recommend using Notepad++. That's what I use for my text editor. Also, I do mention that with HTML, I don't know if you know this, but a web page could look different in Chrome than it can in Firefox than it can in Internet Explorer. So if you plan to move on to do more web development, I do recommend that you download a number of different browsers. So I recommend that you download a number of different browsers just to see what your web page looks like in different browsers. Okay, then I have in the syllabus here the course description and learning objectives. So for assessment, you will be having assignments. There are both written assignments, a couple of chapters are just written assignments, and there are mainly HTML assignments. So in the HTML assignments, you're going to submit them. They may not be correct. I am going to list all the corrections that you need to make and give it back to you. If you're happy with your score, you don't have to do anything. However, if you want to, you can make corrections and resubmit. I will allow for one resubmit, and then I will regrade based on your resubmission. Your old grade doesn't matter. There will be one exam, and that exam is proctored. That means you need to take it in the testing room at the college. If you are not in the Quad Cities area, let me know and we'll find another proctor for you. There will be 3 quizzes over concepts covered in the textbook, and all these quizzes are open book. You do not have to come in to take them on campus. There will also be some discussion questions with each unit. So I've set this up so that you will need to access all the content for every unit through the Modules tab. And in the Modules tab, when we get to the Modules tab, you'll see that there are readings and PowerPoints. Everything you need to do for that week you will find in that module. Okay, now because this is an 8-week course, just be aware that it's going to take you some extra time to get everything done. The rule of thumb is 2 to 3 hours for every 1 credit. However, that's for a 16-week course. This is an 8-week course, so you might find yourself working more than 2 or 3 hours per week per credit to get everything done. My grading scale is 90, 80, 70, 60, and this is tentatively the points that you will be earning. Okay, here's some college information and the due dates for all of the units. I do have extra credit, so if you enjoy on what you're doing and you want to learn how to make tables, for example, that's not a required assignment. It is extra credit, and you can earn full credit for that, full points for that. Then I have a tentative schedule, okay, of every unit and what we'll be covering in those units. So that's the syllabus. Click on Home to get back to the home page. Also on the course home page, I have a link to the very first thing you're going to do, which is a discussion to introduce yourself to the class. I created this PDF file about 1.5 years ago and introduces you to the layout of the course. And here's the learning modules link. You can also access this through the modules on this page. Here is 911 help discussion. And this is for you to help each other. So if you get stuck on something and you want to post something here, please check in and see what people have posted and see if you know the answer. If you find something very interesting, this is another discussion page, and you can post that here for other people in the class to look at. Finally, I have a link to all the data files, so you will need images, etc. as you're building your web pages, and they're found here. Let's look over to modules. Okay, here we are. Here's Unit 1. Unit 1 will cover chapters 1 and 2, and it's mainly reading. So with Unit 1, There's reading. Do look at the good practices link. This is a hint because that very first web page assignment I grade, which I believe is actually in Unit 2, I'm going to be looking that you follow what I've written in the good practices page here. If you prefer viewing videos, I've added some videos here. Okay, the author's PowerPoints if you prefer to read it that way, and then extra study aids. Okay, and finally here's the assignments. So we begin. Here's that About Me discussion I pointed out as your first thing you got to do in class. So there's that About Me discussion here also in the module. And your other discussion has you create lists, because in Chapter 2 they show you some HTML for creating lists. Okay, and the very first assignment is just going to be a written assignment covering concepts from Chapter 1 and then a little quiz over that content. Again, we repeat that again. So Unit 2 will actually be Chapter 3 in the book. There's the PowerPoint, there's the author's video, some discussion, there's your first web page assignment, and another written assignment. So that's the format of the class for 8 weeks. And when you're all done, and we have a final. And that kind of wraps up our class. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. And I hope you enjoy learning how to make web pages.